Everyone is in a hurry today. Everyone say, I can't cook, you know, I don't have time to cook. Well, you don't need that much time to cook well. And to cook well, all you need is organization, more than time. We don't have much time today. I'm going to put the timer actually on 22-minute time of our show, and by then the meal will be finished. That is, I hope so. So we put this here, and we're going to start with a grand dish. It's a nice menu that we are doing. A grand dish, this is bulgur, which is a type of, it's a wheat, a cracked wheat which has been steamed and pressed. And we're going to season that with onion and with scallion, with a little bit of curry, and those tiny black raisins that we call currant, you know. And we'll start then with this first because this is the longest of our meal. And we'll start with the onion. You know, it's always interesting to cook with those little black raisins here. As I said, they are called currant. And they are called currant because in Europe, those come from a town called Corinth, C-O-R-I-N-T-H. And someone must have misspelled it currant, C-U-R-R-A-N-T. And that's why they are called, but they are actually raisins, tiny raisins. You see the currant doesn't dry well, it's full of seed inside. So I have this on high, a little bit of olive oil in there. And with this, the onion first. The onion is going to saute for like a minute or so in there. And with this, we put the curry. You know, the curry powder here is actually a mixture of different spice. Turmeric, coriander, black pepper, and so forth. You know, it is not really a plant, although there is a plant called curry, which is part of this, but it is not really that yellow part that we have here. So, scallion on top of it, give me a little bit of color in this. So we add the scallion. You see, very often when you cook fast, the hardest part is to get your pot hot. I do soup very fast like that at home. And really the longest part of the soup is to boil the water, you know. People do often at home cook spaghetti. When I cook spaghetti, starting from scratch, I can have an egg and a cup of flour in the food processor. And then I do fresh pasta. But the first thing that I do before that, I put a big pot of water on the stove. Because by the time the water has boiled, the pasta is finished and it's boiling. I put it and it's cooked in a couple of minutes. Look at the beautiful color that I have here and that mixture of raisins, I mean little currant and all this. So we put the bulgur wheat in there. This is what you do the tabbouleh salad with it, you know. Some salt, cracked pepper, black pepper, of course, is the best. And I have 2 cups of chicken stock here, which is twice the amount of the liquid, you know. You want to bring that to a boil, and as it boils, I'm going to lower the heat and cover it and cook it for about 15-20 minutes. Should be cooked. I'm not going to do the dishes in between, but maybe I will have time to do the dishes. The second thing that I'm going to do is the dessert, actually. So let's see that. Be sure that it comes to a nice boil. And for dessert, we are doing a very simple pineapple dessert. And I have that pineapple right here. Okay. Now, if this is boiling, you have to wait until you're sure that it's to a strong boil. Then I can cover it and lower the heat to medium-low. Now, there is many people who tell you how to choose a pineapple. If it's green, it's not ripe. Apparently, it doesn't mean anything. More important is the smell underneath. I've been told also that when you pull the top leaf like that, if it comes out very easily, it is ripe. Some other people have told me this is not true. So a lot of it is luck, but mostly it's smell. You know what I say? If it smells good underneath, that's the one that I choose. So we cut that in half. You could use a couple of those actually for decoration, you know. That's not a bad idea. And this I want to cut in half. This way here. Yeah, this one is nice and ripe, I can see that. So here we are cooking for 4 people. I think half of one is quite heavy, it will probably be enough. And we're going to do a sauce again, with a mixture here of different ingredients that I have here. And I have, again, those tiny currants that I put in there. Some cognac, about 2 tablespoons of cognac. Other sweetening agent, we have a bit of crème de cassis, which is a black currant liqueur-like, and a bit of brown sugar, you know. So that will be the base of the maceration for the pineapple, you know. I think I put all of this in there. Fine. So the way I cut this, I will cut it into wedge here. About a couple of wedge per person. I don't know whether I'll do more. Then I'll cut the top part of it, which is the woody part, you know. And the part underneath, I cut it directly on top of the skin. Then you can cut it into pieces like this and just add it to your sauce, you know. Especially here I have another board, you know, which is clean, but if I do it on the table where I chop garlic or something, I'm careful to keep that directly on the skin, as I say, so that it doesn't pick up taste on the table. You know what's very good with pineapple? It's very, very high in vitamin C, which is good, and it's also terrific to do sherbet-like. It makes beautiful sherbet. All you have to do is a puree of this with a bit of citrus fruit, you know, and freeze it. And it makes a great sherbet. So here we are. I think that I put another wedge here, which will half of my pineapple, and I think it's really kind of enough for 4 people. You could serve that with a bit of sour cream or yogurt if you want, or nothing at all, really. Here it's good. I'm going to saute it here to flavor it. That's it. And I'll leave it to macerate in there. Maybe with those around here to remind you that it is pineapple. To remind me it is pineapple. Okay, so we finish with this. This is really boiling hard. I may lower that a little bit. And now we move to the main course, which is grilled lamb chop. And I bought those lamb chop about 6 ounces a piece. And we're going to flavor them with salt, pepper, and with herb here. I have savory, you know, which is in the family of the thyme. This is fresh savory. You can use fresh thyme or other type of herb or spice, as well as dry one sometime, you know. We're going to use, in fact, a lot of different dry herb for the first course. Again, here I would want to remove most of the fat of the grill. This is 1 lamb chop per person, and if you defat it properly, 6 ounces, it should be enough, 1 per person. You know, we tend to have much smaller portion of meat now than we used to. That is in the US, basically. In Europe, I remember when I was a child, if we had 1 pork chop or 1 lamb chop, it was always 1. It was never 2 or 3. And the steak were very small also. So this is pretty clean. I'm putting a bit of salt and pepper on top of it. And this, you know, actually you can do that ahead and let it macerate, you know, again, also with a bit of oil on top, which is not what I'm going to do, because I'm going to start it cooking right away, but you could do that. So here I have a little bit of oil, like 2 teaspoons, you know, should be enough. Some of that mixture on top. Then I put it here on the other side. I love grilled lamb, you know, it has a special flavor. As you can see, that lamb here has a nice pink color, which indicates quality. Domestic lamb, so-called domestic lamb, will have that nice pink color, and the fat itself will be a pure white like this. And those are mild, milder than New Zealand or Australian lamb, which tend to be strong because of climatic condition more than anything else, you know. So I put that to grill in the middle. I can keep that on this side here. And now we're going to start the first dish, which is shrimp on green, you know, like this. That we'll use a bit later. And I have here a mixture of different seasoning. I have dry tarragon, I have thyme here, I have cayenne, I have oregano, coriander. So it's a mixture of very spicy thing that we are going to put together. The shrimp here, if you want to peel your shrimp, sometimes I do that with the shell on. You just go around and leave the tail like this. It looks nice with the tail. You can leave the tail or remove it. Actually, with the tail, sometimes I fold it, put it like this, and I do little rabbit with that, like this, that I cook. You see? You just put a skewer through it, a toothpick, so they hold, and you have a rabbit. So the shrimp, again, those are relatively small shrimp. You buy the shrimp per pound, that is so many to the pound. And those are about 30, 40 to the pound. So you serve 4 or 5 of those per person. I have a mixture here of all of those different herbs that I'm putting on top, pressing into it. And into this also, I'm putting a little bit of olive oil. And that could be done ahead. And you could let it macerate. But then underneath, we're going to do spinach. And I have spinach here. I wash the spinach ahead, you know. So you can also buy now a package of spinach all washed, you know, so it's all right. And in the spinach, I could even put a little bit of onion in there or plain. I think that with this on top, I leave it plain. And you put your spinach just clean from washing. They are still wet in there, and there is enough moisture in it. So it will melt. I mean, the spinach, I mean, the amount of spinach we have for 4 here will give you enough vitamin A for your daily requirement. So it's very high in vitamin A, like all the green leafy vegetables. Now I want to look at the lamb chop, you know, nicely brown on each side here. Cook them on the other side. This is cooking nicely too. So we continue with the spinach. Sometimes I season those spinach with garlic, you know, goes well with it, of course. There it is. Dash of salt. And that will become, we're going to arrange that right in the bottom of a tray and put the shrimp on top of it. So we are going to arrange them in this. And the spinach are about cooked enough here. I put back my skillet on top of the stove, let it get real hot because I'm going to saute the shrimp in it. Meanwhile, where this could brown a bit more, move it from another part on the grill, you know, tend to be hotter. Good. When this is real hot, then I will saute those shrimp in it. I think I didn't put salt on top of this. Dash of salt. Shrimp are available year-round now, and it's one of the best shellfish, providing you don't overcook it. You know, this will cook like a minute on each side, you know, at the most. As soon as they turn red, basically on each side they are cooked. So, cook them a little bit on each side. A bit of the juice on top here. And now I can spread this out to have a nice bed of spinach. I think the clock is ticking. I think we have a little while, yes, to go, so here it is. I can smell the shrimp. Are they cooked there? Saute them on the other side. See the beautiful red color that they have. And you know, if you do a lot of shrimp, if you do a great quantity when I do a party, then I cook them even less, because by the time you pile them together, they continue, they have a lot of heat left in them, they continue cooking, you know, for a while. Okay, now I would brown this enough. What I like to do with the lamb chop is to put it in a warm oven now and keep it warm until ready to serve, you know. And this is very important, because what happens when you cook something on very high heat, the meat kind of contracts and the juice goes toward the center of the meat. And if you take like a roast beef out of the oven and cut through it, all of the outside look overdone because it's squeezed out of juice, so it's gray, and all the center is kind of flabby and very wet, you know. If you let that piece of meat rest, the meat decontract and the juice, the myoglobin, which is the muscle tissue, run through the meat, and the whole thing is pink from beginning to end. Okay, now shrimp are cooked. And we can arrange them on top here. I could pour them directly, actually. You know, very often at home I will serve in individual plate, of course, rather than, I think it's going to be easier to do it this way and arrange it after, you know. They're good. And they smell good. So our dish is finished here. It can go to the dining room. We have the dessert finish. And while the bulgur, which is close to finish also, is finishing, I'm going to do a salad. And a tomato salad. I have beautiful torpedo red onion here and real ripe tomato, which is the way the tomato should be, you know, to make a tomato salad. So use your thumb as a pivot to cut this out. Sometimes, you know, I remove the seed, but when the tomato is nice and juicy like this, it's fine the way it is. We cut it across in nice slice. I know that my knife is sharp, because when a knife cut right through ripe tomato like this, it indicates sharpness, you know. So we'll arrange that around. Here we are. I feel that I have more time even than I need, but what I could do actually with the top of that tomato is to do a flour with the skin here, as I have done with the skin of the tomato. That's one way of peeling your tomato. I do 2 strips to decorate the center. This. Then I can continue slicing my tomato to finish filling up the plate here. Put a couple in the center. And now we do the roast with this. It's going to show nicely. And a tight scroll with this to put in the center. Up. Here we are. To make it come out a bit better, maybe I put a bit of parsley here, flat parsley in the center, so that you can see the red of the tomato right here. You can put that on top. Should be a bit more out. And maybe a bit of onion with that. Those red torpedo onions are beautiful, nice and tender, and I like the red onion with tomato. So let's slice that very thin. And we can have those little onion ring here, you know, all around that we can arrange on top of our tomato. That looks good. So that's plenty of onion. All we need on top of that, a bit of salt, cracked pepper, a lot of cracked pepper, freshly ground pepper, a little bit of vinegar, red wine vinegar preferably, as I have here, or a balsamico vinegar is good. This is actually what I have here. And olive oil, again on top. Terrific. And now, that's about it. Fine, I could put a bit more parsley or basil, you know, around if I have it here. I like the grain on top and the taste of it, the whole mixture, you know. So our salad is ready. I think my timer went off. The timer was wrong. Anyway, I still have a couple of minutes to go. Now we're ready anyway to serve the main course. And I will serve that directly on top of this. Here I have some extra savory on top. Let me get the bulgur here, which, as you can see, is nice and fluffy. Cook, beautiful. That a wonderful smell, you know, the smell of the curry came out of it. And that, as you can see, a cup of bulgur is going to do quite a lot. We're going to spread it out a little bit so that we can sit our lamb chop right on top of it and the juice of the lamb chop can go into it. So all we have to go is to get lamb chop, place it right on top of it. There is a natural juice coming out of it. And here it is, a whole meal in less time than it takes you to open a can of soup and warm it up, nice and fresh. Now it's time to enjoy it, and you should spend more time enjoying it than cooking it. It took me 22 minutes about to cook it, and I left myself 3 minutes more to open wine, cut bread, and so forth. So I have a bottle of wine here, a bottle of Pinot Noir, you know, and as you can see, the top of the bottle, you want to take enough of the metal, cut it enough of the metal, so when you pour the wine doesn't touch the metal, you know. But it's not proper to remove the whole thing. This is a special type of bottle opener, you know, cork opener. You slide one on one side and the other one on the other side, and you can move it up and down like that to go inside, then twist it as you go up, you know. This is good for all corks so that they don't crumble. Sometimes with a regular corkscrew, it crumble in it, you know, and you don't want this. So we pour ourselves a little bit of wine to toast you. We have a nice large bread here that will go well with our meal. A slice of bread. Here it is. And if we want to recap the meal, we start with the shrimp. Remember, macerated with all those very spicy seasoning, you know, cayenne and coriander and so forth. Saute on the green, the spinach, you know, saute lightly in oil, place right on top of it. That dish would take a couple of minutes to do. This dish could be a main course as well as that one. The whole meal here is about 725 calories, which is not much, really. We have that bulgur, which is nice and spicy with the curry in it. Those 4 large loin chop, you know, you have for the loin chop that is after the rib, there is no rib there. And those are grilled, remember, about 4 or 5 minutes on each side and finished slowly into the oven. And we have a delicious salad here, the tomato salad with those torpedo onion. And that's spicy and very colorful. And finally, our pineapple, beautiful pineapple marinated with a little bit of cognac in it. We have crème de cassis, we have the currant and so forth. And I enjoy making that meal for you. I'm sure you can rush home and make a meal in 20 minutes as I did. Your friend will be, or your family will be very happy with him, I'm sure. Thank you for looking at the meal and happy cooking.